Hello and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so that you can get the notification about my new tutorials. Right, so today I'm going to talk about how to create a service request and how to link a form to a service request so that if our users which are filling the forms manually like by hand, we want to digitalize them so that they can raise a request directly from Matrix42, and then that can go into the process of maybe getting approved from different people, and then maybe a task should be created in order to move forward with uh, fulfilling that requirement. So Matrix42, as you already know, that it is an ITSM tool which has service desk and ticketing system, and it has service request portal as well. So today what I'm going to do is we'll just pick, I have just downloaded one form from internet which is like VPN request form, just a simple request form which normally people use on a manual filling basis and then get their request approved, and then of course that request is fulfilled or processed, and then they get the VPN request. So now what we are going to do in this video, we are going to convert this form in a digital format. Now, see, there are different ways you can create this form, but first of all, you need to analyze what fields and what type of fields you would need. If I look at over here in this form, the fields which are available over here, like delete and create asset, over there it is like a checkbox because they didn't have any option of drop down, because this can only be selected one at a time. You cannot have create access and delete access in the same form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these two, right? And I'm going to make them as drop down because one at a time will be selected. Okay, I'm going to create them drop down. First name, last name will be text, title position would be text, phone number we can keep it as text, office address we can keep it as text, application, all these other things can be as test. Now user login ID can be a normal user ID as a text field, and the domain can be a text field, and start date and end date will be of course the date fields. Supervisor approval and approved by these details we don't need, the reason being because they are going to be followed through the workflow process. So we are going to look into it maybe in the next video, how to link a service request to a workflow. And then later on completed by also we don't need, because we will create a task inside Matrix42 to fulfill this and get assigned to someone who will be doing this. So we will go to Matrix42 and create these fields, and then we'll create a form. So in order to do that, first thing what you need basically to do is to create the fields. So data sets you need to create. So for that you will come to Matrix42 inside administration. Inside administration you have schema. Under schema you have configuration item and you have data definition. And in data definition you can see you have classes, you have pickups. So first of all what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pickup, because pickups will help me to create drop down menu. All right, so what I'm going to do is over here I'm going to create over here a pickup value, which is, let's say I'll say VPN request type picker, right? Or I can just simply write it like this, and over here I have to show the display name. It's not a data definition, it's rather a pickup. And over here I will need to save it first in order to create this the values of drop down over here. So I'll just copy this name from here so it will be easier for me to search. Now I'm going to save this, and then come back over here, search for this newly created picker, add it, and here I am going to create the data. So first I'm going to create a position as maybe 1 as default position, value is 1, and display string will be please select the request type, right? And then I'm going to create 5 position as 5 and value as 5. I keep gap in between because sometimes there is a possibility that you might need to create an additional thing in between, but I'm just, in my case there are only 2, but later on maybe there might be another option which you need to integrate, so that's why you always try to keep the gap in between these numbers. Create access, and then I'm going to create another one, delete access. Now this is my picker. This is of no use unless or until it is being used somewhere inside the data definition. So now let's go back over here, and now let's try to create a data definition. Now for this I am going to create VPN request form. I should not write this request form, and then over here I will just, and it is a data definition. Now I'll say save and reload, and coming back over here, VPN request form. I'm going to go and edit this now. Now I will create attributes over here. So first thing, let's create request type, which we have already created as picker. So I'm going to create request type, and I have to choose from here integer, and from here I'll choose my VPN request picker. No, sorry, not the default value, my bad. We have to choose it in the picker, pickup, VPN request type, and I'm going to click OK over here. Now next, what is next over here? We have first name, last name, right? So I'm going to create over here first name, string value, maybe I'll keep it as 50 length, and I'm going to click OK over here. Then I'm going to use last name, again maybe 50 as a value, length of this. Now I have title, position, telephone, right? So I will create a field for title, and this title can be again 50 characters or 100 characters as you want, but for me I'm going to keep 50 characters. And then over here I'll create telephone. Telephone can be of string type, but I don't need this long, so maybe I'll keep it as 15 characters. Then what I have next is office address. That could be long, so we will use office address, and I'm going to use this as 200 length. Click OK. What is next for us? Services requested, what is required. So we need application name, port number. So I'm going to create separately all this application name and let it be 100, and I will create port number, and this could be a digit, because ports will always be in digits. So you can say 4 or you can say long type, so 8 length, and click OK. And then you have IP address, network devices like IP address, name, DNS name, physical location. I'll say IP address, and I will make it as maybe 20 length. And then we have name, DNS name, or I'll say DNS name. Okay, I'll keep it as it is 100 because DNS name could be longer also. So, or 50 also is good. Physical location. Again, I'll keep it as text field. I will just keep it 50 over here. And then next is what? Purpose of VPN access. So we need a reason. Purpose of VPN access. Again, I'll keep it as 100 or let's say 200 because it could be longer as well. And then we have something like login ID. Login ID could be again maybe 25 characters. String field. And then after that, what we have is domain. I'm not doing it. I will say maybe available hardware. It could be multiple choice as well. So I'll create checkboxes. So I'll say laptop. And I have to choose bool from here. And I will click here and create desktop. Again, I will choose bool. Okay, and next what we have in line is start date and end date. Choose date type and we'll say end date. Okay. So now our data definition is almost completed. We don't need supervisor related details because this will be picked from, these all will be picked up from your basically system itself from Matrix42. So I'll say done over here now. Now I have created data definition. Next part is to basically create configuration item over here. So I'm going to create a configuration item and I'm going to name it as VPN request type. And I'm going to go and say everybody has access to this. Okay, and then I'm going to go data definition SPS common class base I have to select because user values has to be picked up. That's mandatory. And then I would be using my created data definition, which is available over here. And I'm going to click create configuration item. So now once my data definition is completed, I'm not going to use build user interface. I'm going to go over here in user interface layouts and in dialogs. Basically, I'm going to create a new one and I will name it as VPN request form, or I'll say just VPN request. Okay, VPN request form, and then from here I'll choose my VPN request type. And I'm going to click on done. Now my solution builder will open this kind of a form where you will see that I have my VPN request form over here. Now first thing on top was over title. If you see over here, we don't need this like a written VPN request form or something, but we'll say user information required, right? So I'm going to place one text box first of all. I'm going to use text literal over here, and I'm going to say, now I'll just keep it like this, and I'll put the static value. Okay, and second thing what I can do is I can change the to title. Okay, and maybe I might want to change this to appear in, let's say, perpendicular center. Okay. Okay. I will play around with these later, but for now I'll keep it this way. And then next, what I need is the request type. I can search, or I can just pull this up from here. And over here, I will choose enumeration picker. I will say request type over here. I will move this one in center. Okay. Request type we have picked up. After that, what we need is requested by details, right? So I'm going to use this over here, and I'm going to take another text box. And I will write the values over here. Okay, again the style I'm going to choose as title. Okay, and I can say over here. Okay, that's fine. Then now next part, what we need is first name, last name, title, position. So we already have our first name. We'll just bring them over here. Text box. I bring last name over here. Just bringing them, then I can just move them over here as I want. First name, last name. Then we have title, phone number. Okay, going to use this over here. Telephone. And this time for telephone, I can change this to URL. So I don't have this available over here. All right, and then next is physical location. Physical location you can bring over here. Now what you can do is maybe you can do little alignment like this. So it will have all three in one. Or you can also have it in such a way it appears like the way your form was looking. So I could just simply location name, and then what I will need is purpose of VPN access, for example. So for purpose of VPN access, I will be using over here as purpose of VPN access, for example. Purpose of VPN access. And this one I'll probably put as text area. Okay, because I wanted to show you how's the difference and how would it appear when I am choosing different ways of writing it. Of course, we can work with this form for all those things. I would like to show you how we can bring the checkboxes. So for example, if I say laptop, I'll bring this up over here. I'll click checkbox. Okay, over here. And second thing I have as desktop. Okay, box again, and in here I will get text literal again, text value again, and this time I have to write this available hardware. Available hardware. Okay, and now I want to show you the date, how we put the date, start date and end date. I will say start date, which is available over here. I'm going to pick up date picker. Maybe I'll put it over here itself. Let's move them over here. And end date. Now this start date, end date could be complete date and time, which I'm going to keep it as it is, or it can be only date available. So we can choose from here if I want date, I want full, or I want only time. That can be done. I'm going to publish this over here. Now this is published, but you will not be able to see this because you have not linked it to any service request. So let's go and quickly create a service request and link this form to that service request. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a quick service. I'll name this service as VPN request. Okay, service type is network related, let's say. I'll change it to operational. Server contract, I am not linking it to workflow, portal display, provisioning, self-service form. I'm going to put my VPN form over here. I'm going to click this as done. And basically now I have to add it to a catalog. So we have catalogs available. So I'm going to link it to catalog, add to catalog, and now my service request should be available. Now if you come over here, you can see, of course I can put image and a lot of things, but let's see VPN request. When I say add to cart, it should open a form for me, and this is my form. If you see, of course we can do makeup, touch-ups and things around it, but just to show you, let's say create access, physical location, and you see now can have multiple selections over here, and from here I can choose to and from dates, start date, end date, and I can say add to cart, and this service request is going to get created. And if you see over here, my form is here, and I can say done, and I place an order. Now when I place this order, right now I don't have any workflow, I don't have anything. It will directly go to provisioning and it will show you the service request like this. You see, so it has gone for approval because probably some default approval is there, but you see now it has gone to approval for us, which has to go to global approval here. Now if I go and just to see and go here in my VPN request, it shows me what is my status and where it has gone. It has gone for approval process. Okay, if I go pick up my order number over here and simply just go to service catalog, and I go here in my order, I can see that approval is pending. But I'll say approved, and if you see summary, by the way, before approving, the approver who is supposed to approve can view the form which I have filled. Alright, and then just finish the approval. And that's it. So now, once the person who's supposed to approve will approve this, you see there is no provisioning because we have not linked it to any form or any task or something. So directly provisioning status has come. If I come over here, for me it has been shown that this is already fulfilled. Now as an end user, I have to accept. Once I accept this, I can rate this service by any way, accepted, denied. Okay, and I can say accept. Later, of course, we'll see how we can link it to a task creation, how we can create our own workflows and so on. But for now, I wanted to show you that this request is completed. And if I go to my workplace, I can see my services which I have requested or any orders which I have created for myself. I can see in my workplace. If I come over here in my orders, show us the orders which are there, and if you see, it is fulfilled.
Thank you so much for watching this walkthrough. Please use the comment section below to let me know if this solves your problem or this is what you were looking for, and to discuss more about any of the technologies which I'm talking about. Thank you and stay blessed.